Okay, we back at it.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mace and Cam.
Murder, what's good?
What's good, man?
Everything good? How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Gotta rest a little bit. What's going on? What's going on, Stat?
We've missed you. We've had a lot of very interesting combos, and I was like, I really wonder what Mace's thoughts are on this. So maybe we'll sprinkle them in between, because some things got real crazy. I'm not going to lie. And sometimes,
Let's just start off. Matter of fact, before we get to the topic, let's review Mace's opinion on a few things that we have revisited, because I want his opinion on some things. Let's do that. A recap of what Mace missed and his opinion on a couple things.
Okay, so the first thing, we got to ask you about Bam's 83-point game. You think they should have took him out? Do you feel like it was disrespectful that he passed Kobe's number? Do you think it was legit? How do you feel about that game?
Yeah, I don't think he should have did that. Like, it's like Mamba. You leave that alone. He's not here to defend that. That was just kind of tasteless. I don't know. From my take, that's what I would say.
I feel like it was tasteless. Okay, but you don't feel like, because some people feel like he threw or made too many free throws. So, like, I can't say you can't count it, because obviously it's in the history books, but do you feel like...
Yeah, you got to count all those points. Whatever points he scored, you got to count them. But I wouldn't, I would have just chilled out, I would have just chilled out. Unless Kobe was in the crowd. If Kobe was in the crowd, then I would have went for it.
Got you. Okay, another one.
Well, hold on, Murder. So I feel the same way you feel. We on the same page. And some people be mad at me because I said I'm not jacking it. Cam is hating. Stat's one of them people. Now she's back in Miami too, Murder, just so you know. You haven't heard about Golden State or anything. She's back in Miami, just so you know. But let me ask you this, Murder. Look, just your opinion. There's a bunch of people mad at me, and I told them I actually like that. that makes me actually turns me on. Pause when I piss people off about real shit, how I'm feeling. Couple things, right, with this game. He shot 23 threes and 43 free throw attempts, right?
Yeah.
But what about the part when Miami is fouling, they're up 20 or whatever, they're fouling the Wizards to stop the clock so Miami could get the ball back? Do you feel that that's within the game? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you're fouling the Wizards players, like, fuck it, stop the clock so they could at least, even if they make it, we get the ball back to give it to them. Like, what do you call that? I don't know if it's the cheese. Like, what is that?
They normally fight over that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
unwritten law, right?
Yeah, it's an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Like, if you up and then you just go for the last dunk. I remember Zion did that, and niggas was like, yo, Zion, what are you doing? And they wanted to fight over that. So, that's the real thing. Sometimes there's unwritten rules.
Okay. You're done with your question for that, right, Cam?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just going to go rapid fire on what I even remember. There was a conversation about monogamy versus polyamorous relationships in a palace and a lot of different things, but we can pass that one because unless you feel like...
Yeah, go ahead, ask Murder, because she said you said you felt like Murder should have been
I
here
felt like he would agree with me. Basically, the way they were saying it is if you had a partner, and this is obviously hypothetically speaking, what's the better situation? If your partner is in love with somebody else and entertaining that person and you, or they're with you, but they are allowed to talk to multiple people at the same time, which situation do you think is better?
What?
Like, say you have a partner and they're also, quote unquote, in love with somebody else, right? Would you rather them just be taking their time and attention to one singular person, or would you rather them go off and be able to be around and entertain multiple people?
So basically, Murder, Trish was on the show. We had to. Trish was saying she's not gonna ever be in a monogamous relationship, even if she's gonna be in a monogamous relationship. She doesn't want to be questioned. Basically, that's what she's saying. So the question is this, right? The question is this: if and like I said, it's hypothetical. If your significant other was cheating, would you rather have 10, 11 one-night stands or be in love with just one nigga that she's in love with? None of it's cool. We get that. We know what type of time you're on. But if you had to make a choice, because look, she might have had meaningless sex with the 11 people, but
Shades on.
with the 11 people, but she might be going, like I'm talking about after Christmas, she going to spend Christmas day after until New Year's with him. She's spending mad time with this one person. Would you rather that your significant other cheat with one person that she's in love with or have 10, 11 one-night stands? And I know it's hypothetical, but which one is more meaningful or meaningless to you?
I don't know. All of them say the same thing to me. Either one, she out the door.
I'm at.
One nigga got to put his shades on for this one.
I had to put my shades on for this one.
Well, I said they're trying to give me a twisted mindset because I don't think like that. And I said I had to choose between, I don't want them to be in love with somebody else. I'd rather you just go entertain multiple people because at least I know you're not in love. But I don't even want to think like that because I don't feel like that ever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's Tristan, though. That's Tristan gas.
No, you were trying to say we're the same. We see each other.
Because this is what happened. Tristan said, I would never be in a monogamous relationship. I don't want to be questioned. So even if I am monogamous, I'm not monogamous because I'm going to do what I want to do. I said, yeah, that's the type of time I'm on. She said, Cam, it's not the same. My monogamous, not monogamous is a little conceit. It's a guest house. Yours is a palace. I said, okay. I said, if the conceit of me, then you got one nigga. You trying to say I got multiple people in the palace. But you saying you got a conceit that's small, so you may just have one person you cheating with. So I said, what's worse? That's what it's all came about, because she tried to act like her non-monogamous is worse than my non-monogamous. That's how it went.
Yeah.
Yeah, one person is like you love them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's
yeah.
It's a problem.
Because you went back for seconds and thirds.
Yeah. 4/5 and 6 maybe too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
Problem.
Yeah. And that's where the whole conversation came about. She tried to act like her non-monogamy was better than my non-monogamy. So that's why I broke it down like that. So yeah, that's all it was about.
Yeah. Okay, I got two more for you, Mace. Maurice, he saw what you said about him regarding the trees. He just want to know why you haven't came back on his day.
Yeah, I don't talk to niggas that talk to me like that. Nah. I had some family stuff to tend to. But I like what Mo had on the suit. He had on a good tie. I like where Mo is going with this. We got some good things going on. I'm just surprised he didn't say any of that, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll be back next week.
Yeah, we're waiting on it. We gotta see y'all discuss some things. And then the last one, and I'm just putting this in a nutshell. There's so much more context, but how do you feel about Dwight Howard's ex-wife accusing him of doing coke and showing the bag, allegedly, on live?
Was that a real bag of cocaine?
Allegedly. That's all I can give you.
Man, this is interesting because I'm going to tell you a small story. I think I should have went to the NBA draft with with Dwight Howard. I really believe I missed an opportunity to counsel him and to be a voice of reason to him. I really think I could help him if he's watching this. Like, I know a lot of times we joke and play around, but it just seemed like he needs the right type of person to speak to him and somebody that could really navigate him from where he is right now. And he was like such a good kid when he first started, and it just seemed like he landed in a lot of people's hands. Pause. That was the wrong people. So, Dwight, if you're watching this, I would love to give you and your wife some counsel to make sure you guys make it.
Well, he did file for divorce. So, but everybody can, help is still very valuable,
Yeah, I still would like that one because he's from Atlanta. There's a lot of people from Atlanta rooting for him, even though he's going through some really crazy times. And like sometimes we joke, but sometimes you can see when a person is really breaking pause from like the inside, and it's just like the same thing I see with boxers and things like that. Sometimes it's joking and sometimes it's not funny. And this is one of those times, like when it's family, you get to meeting people. You see a nigga mom's crying. I didn't see his mother crying, but I'm just trying to show some sentiment to that.
Respect. You guys had very different perspectives. Cam took us through a whole learning lesson through where I can't even say where things were found, but the price difference and the size and just some educational things.
Yeah, no, listen, this was all sparked by Trista. Trista asked some real interesting questions. She asked me about how much was in the bag. I said it was a little over half a kilo. I said if it was up to me, if I had to guess, I said it was about 575 grams. And she just went on prices from different cities and countries and so on. Trista asked some really interesting questions yesterday. But niggas always act like I did it. It's wild, man. It's wild. But yeah, shout out to Trish. She did a good job.
Facts. Okay, Mace, that was our rapid fire. Good answers. We have a lot more to talk about today, so it's only going to continue. So let's start with this game last night. The Celtics and Thunder, obviously going to be an anticipated game. It was a close game, but the Thunder ended up beating the Celtics 104-102. So Mace, what does this loss say about Boston, and what are your thoughts about the game?
This was a really good game. It went down to the wire. It even looked like Boston could have pulled that game out. Pause. When Jalen blocked a three-pointer, I think, and he went for a dunk, and then he made another basket for them to tie it up. So it was looking like Boston could pull this one off. But that OKC team, they just play too well together. I think this is the finals. Unless they run into Wemby, if they get Wemby out of there before they meet OKC, then this will be the finals. But if they run into San Antonio, they're going to be out. But I think this game didn't say much because we didn't see Tatum play yet. We didn't see them play against that Boston team with Tatum. So to think they're going down the wire without Tatum out there, I think this is a good look for Boston. I really do. And I think it was a Memorial night with Shea passing Wilt Chamberlain, but I think we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think this was an awesome win for them. But even for Boston, it was good as well because they were that close to the win.
Yeah, I agree. Mace, it was a really good game. I just think that, and shout out to, and are we going to touch on Shea's thing in a minute, or are we just doing that all now?
We can go to it next.
All right, cool. We'll stick to the game right now, right? So, Mace hit the nail on the head. Great game. Derek White and Tatum didn't play. But you got to think about this. Hartenstein didn't play either, and J-Dub didn't play. So I'm more interested in why the fuck Jason Tatum didn't play. I don't get it. I mean, if your hamstring, not the hamstring, your Achilles, you're nursing it, you're getting back on track, I dig it. I'm not arguing that because it's a very serious injury. If it was sore, maybe it might have been sore, so on and so forth. But goddamn, nigga missed 60 games. And let's just say you're a fan and you're OKC and you go buy a ticket like, oh, I wasn't going to go, but Tatum's back, so I'm going to go.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing, man. Like the NBA to me is just, I'm still watching, still a fan, but this is probably one of the worst products in recent memory as far as sports is concerned. The games are all over the place. We don't know who's playing night in and night out. It's just not a good product right now. I thought the All-Star game, like we said, Lee, we talked about this with Trish too. I think that the All-Star game was better this year than it has been in previous years, but we was confused leading up to that. It made sense when we watched it, but I just don't like the NBA as a product. The game last night, very, 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 very good game if you're a basketball fan. Couldn't ask for more, but I think it was key players missing from both teams. But if I'm a fan, I want to see Tatum play. I'm expecting Tatum to play because he missed so many games and you want to get him ready for the playoffs. But all bets are off if he had some soreness in Achilles. We don't know how we're monitoring his Achilles injury. And don't get it fucked up. He came back 10 months after he had this injury. So, the timing is impeccable for him to even make that comeback in that short amount of time. But it's just really disappointing if that's what you're anticipating. But shout out to OKC and shout out to Boston. Really good game, man. Really good game. And like Mace said, OKC pulled it off at that.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can get to SGA. So he made history passing Wilt Chamberlain for most consecutive games with at least 20 points scored in his 127th consecutive regular season game. Mace, first of all, what do you think of this stat? And then does this solidify him as MVP, in your opinion?
I think this definitely is going to lead towards that MVP with him having that many 20-point consecutive games, and especially to do that against Boston. I remember when he faked the three and then, pump faked the three and then shot the three for that number. I was just thinking, wow. What a way to go ahead of Wilt with a 3-pointer, because Wilt was getting these numbers with no 3-pointers. So I don't know how much I could really put stake in this. I know people say I'm a classic throwback by nature, but Wilt got them numbers stat with no 3-pointers. So I don't know if it mean the same. It don't mean the same to me. I want to hear what Killa say, but the nigga who had the record, he wasn't shooting threes. He got them numbers with just baskets. So I don't know how to think about that.
This is Sin's argument, murder.
Yeah.
Sin is gonna love you for this one. Sin gonna love you for this one, man. Sin say, now we celebrating mediocrity. I say, ain't that what y'all be saying? I said, Sin. Niggas act like, see, this is my problem with that, right? And this is why, it's so many different, I'm love to be this age because I get to see now and I get to see then, and young niggas be like, y'all old niggas don't know. I'm like, whatever. It's not like Shea went to the commissioner and said, yo, put the 3-point line in. You think we could get a 3-point line? That'd be interesting, right? If we get a 3-point line, that'd be dope. Because think about it, right? I seen this one time. I forget, Klay Thompson had broke, I believe, one of George Gervin's records. I can't remember exactly what record it was. And they asked George Gervin, how you feel about Klay Thompson breaking your record? He said, he didn't break my record because I ain't have no 3-pointers when I did it. So that's what George Gervin said, right? So I say this. So prior to Bam Adebayo, the Iceman said he ain't jacking it. So prior to Bam Adebayo, let's just say Kobe, right? Mace, do you count Kobe? 83 is 83 when you look in the record book, right? But I'm saying, we've been old enough to see Kobe's game. Do you count Kobe's 81 as official as opposed to some people speculating about Bam? I'm asking you.
I count Kobe's 83.
Right, 81, right.
81. Right. I count Kobe's 81.
Right. But it was 3-pointers. What are we talking about?
A lot of nodding.
So this is what I'm saying, right? So when niggas say Shea caught up to Wilt Chamberlain's record, but it wasn't no threes, why Kobe 81 is official? Because he shot threes in that game. But niggas count Kobe shit, But it's speculation for Shea shit.
But Bam them he's cheesing to do it. You know,
No, I ain't talking about no. I took Bam out the equation. Bam's out. Bam's out. But that's
okay.
what you said with Sensei. You said you don't know. Bam's not in this conversation. I'm going straight to Kobe. Mm-hmm. So you say you're not sure because Wilt couldn't do it. He didn't have threes to do it. But Kobe, 81 count to you, but he shot threes too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why his game count, but Shea, you not sure? That's what I'm asking.
Because he's Mamba.
Okay, see, let's just say we got our favorite sports. That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. It's because it's cool for some people, but for other people, it ain't cool. So I like that answer, though. I respect that more than the nigga.
He's Mamba, that's it.
Yeah, I like that answer. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect sometimes when I'm arguing with the nigga sin and I'm winning, and then you know what the nigga tell me, Murder? He be like, you know what? I don't even want to make sense right now. I respect that. Tell me, you get me, Pete?
Because I said so. Yeah, like your mother used to say. Because I said so.
Yeah, I respect that answer. Look, I don't want to make sense right now. I just said so. All right, cool. If we not making sense, you got it. I'm with all that, man. But I just want to say, look, it's amazing to watch because to me, Shea, he's one of them niggas you don't hear a lot of bullshit about. He's not beefing on the court. He comes to play when he's not hurt. It's really amazing. I think just because of his name and he's not from, if he is from America, he would be it wouldn't even be no argument about face of the league and everything else. And if he was in a bigger market, I believe as well. But man, the nigga, even last night, I think he shot 13 for 18. He was very efficient. Whatever it was, 15 for 18, his numbers was efficient. He wasn't wasting shots, mid-range game, getting to the basket. Man, and to answer your question, Stat, yes, this makes him an MVP if he finishes off the season with the right amount of games, man, because Denver's going down. OKC is still standing at the top, and Shea's still playing at a high clip. Even last night, 35 points with the efficiency of the baskets was more than anything else to me. Just how good he's shooting. So, shout out to Shea, shout out to OKC. But I thought it was amazing to even get that record. I seen them saluting Kawhi Leonard murder a few nights ago because he broke the
For what?
He broke the Clippers record of most 20-point games consecutively from a Clipper. You know how many games that was, Murder?
How many?
40. So no Clipper player ever out of all the players that played for the Clippers had more than 20 points consecutively for 39 games. Kawhi just broke that record, pardon me, 40 games. That's 86 games less than we're talking about with Shea. So that's how big of an accomplishment it is to me, my personal opinion.
It's huge. And I want to add, too, he clinched the 20-point streak before the fourth quarter in 90% of his games. So he's not even playing the full time, and he's able to do that, which is insane. So definitely shout out to SGA because he's been putting on for sure. Okay.
SGA is a 90s player, though. He goes to the rack every chance he gets. So that's why he's dominating the league. He plays like we used to play. Everything is to the rack. Everything.
That's just a funny take to me because I feel like somebody who quote unquote, I guess you could consider Gen Z. It's like, but he's a 90s player though. Like it's not really, y'all ain't really doing it. He's just like, y'all always trying to discredit Gen Z. It's like, but this one's from a different breed though. Like they got an old soul. Like it's a little different. I'm like, dang, like why can't things just shift?
Nah, I get where you coming from, Murder, and I get where you coming from, Stat. Mace is saying his game is 90-ish, and you saying, but he wear the halter top there. So y'all both right.
Yeah, like everybody else is shooting threes. He's going straight to the basket. Until you stop it, that's what we're going to be doing.
And his mid-range game is really good, too.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the Nuggets. So they beat the Spurs 136-131. Mace, Who do you think the Nuggets' success depends on aside from Jokic?
Murray, and we're waiting for Bruce. What's his name? Bruce Bowen.
Bruce
What's his name?
Brown.
Bruce Brown. I keep confusing him with the other guy. The other guy won championships. He won one championship. Bruce Brown. We got you back for this reason. You got to turn up, man. For real. I think it depends on Bruce Brown and Murray. The Joker is always going to do his part. Every time Joker is going to do his part. But, it depends on which Murray shows up and which Bruce Brown shows up. I think Bruce Brown is the real difference on that team. If he gets going, that's a very dangerous team. I don't care who they're playing, but he got to show up.
Yeah, I agree with Mace. Bruce Brown was a key part of that championship that year that they actually won. Michael Porter Jr. isn't there. Braun needs to step up. He's starting now. I'm talking about Braun, not Bruce. Now Mace got me confused. Not Bruce Brown, but Braun. White boy, he's decent. But Bruce Brown is, man, why you bring up Bruce Brown now? Because he's a Spur, you know what I'm saying? And he did win champions. Bruce Brown is very important to them winning the championship. But to me, it's also, and I talked about this a few days ago, it boils down to coaching too. And I think the coach that they have doesn't put his foot down enough as far as dictating what he may want the team to do. I think that he knows that the last coach was a great coach and he got fired for questioning the Joker. You get what I'm saying? So now you may be coaching on eggshells because you're like, yo, if I go against what this nigga's saying, I may get fired. Imagine being a championship coach. 1 year you don't go to the championship and you get fired because your all-star player doesn't like you, and now you're the interim coach, and then you become a coach, and now you're like, damn, I want to run a 1-3-1 offense. And Joker say, nah, we're going to do pick and roll with me and Jamal Murray. I bet, Joker, you got it. You get what I'm saying, Murder? Like, how does it work when you just seen the last coach get fired for not liking what the star player's doing, but you may see something that the star player's not doing, and that's why you're there to coach. But as far as players concerned, I agree with Mace, but we got to see if this coach is going to put his foot down and how good he actually can coach. So I think it's going to be a lot with coaching as well. But I agree with Mace. If we're talking about players, it's going to be Bruce Brown.
Good takes. Okay. Kawhi and the Clippers, we will discuss after the break. Welcome back. So the Timberwolves lost to the Clippers the other day, 153-128. That game actually ended with a shoving match between both of the teams. But Mace, do you feel like the Clippers are a sleeper team? How do you feel about the Clippers right now?
I like this win for them, but I wouldn't get too happy about it. Ant-Man will be back to claim this back. I don't want to get too carried away. I think this ended the way it needed to end it. Ended the way it needed to end so that the fire could be lit under the Timberwolves, because you definitely can't be playing with teams like the Clippers going into the playoffs. You want to start making your name and start putting the fear of God in people right now in this moment. And this is not a game they should have lost, but when you don't have everybody playing on all cylinders just yet, this is what's going to happen. I would prefer them lose to a better team than the Clippers. But, things happen, especially without James Harden moving from that team. They should not be losing to no Clippers. So they got to turn this around. And definitely Ant-Man got to take this personal. So I do like the fact that they're shoving at the end of the game, because that lets me know that they didn't like the way this went. So that was a good sign.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure how many games this in, but we seen him hurt, and this is the first time I seen Darius Garland with the Clippers, and he looked really good fitting in pause with the Clippers. It looked like it was an automatic match made in heaven with Darius Garland getting there. Now, think about this: 153 points. I'm not saying that 153 is a lot of points. And I'm looking here, and I've seen half of this game, second half. I'm looking at these stats, right? We're looking at Kawhi Leonard, 45 points. Derrick Jones, 12 points. Darius Garland, 21 points, right? But the bench, every player off the bench scored. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 players off the bench scored. So this is Ty Lue. Not only Ty Lue, we have Jeff Van Gundy, where people are not realizing that Jeff Van Gundy is also their premier coach. But Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy, there's brilliant basketball minds there. But the balance, when you're getting 22 points from Benedict, and then you're getting another 14 points from Miller, 9 points from Isaiah Jackson, this is great. And I'm talking about all bench players. This is great balance, man. So I'm not going to necessarily call the Clippers a sleeper team, because I just sat there and also watched them lose a few nights ago to San Antonio, and they was up 20 points at the end of the third quarter. So but Garland wasn't playing as well. They have to prove something to me with Garland, but it looked really good, and right now they're at the playing spot as well. So congrats to the Clippers. Now let's move on to Minnesota. This is not a good time of the year to be losing games like this. They're sliding down, and they've been doing decent throughout the year, but I don't want to go into the playoffs with this losing momentum. Think about this. Right now, they're in 6th place, right? We didn't think, talking about this, and it's quiet as kept because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's looking at it. The Rockets just won, but it's a tie for 3rd place right now with the Lakers and the Rockets. We're not even thinking. We think about Lakers maybe making the play-in right at the beginning of the season. If we're talking, maybe they should be in the play-in with all the good teams in the West. J.J. Redick, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and the white boy Luka, they don't even tell niggas we in 3rd. They not even paying attention. Don't say nothing. Nobody knows we in 3rd place. They ain't even talking about shh. Keep it. You feel me, P? Keep it on the hush. Nobody, because they want to keep talking about what's going on with Denver. They want to talk about the alien with San Antonio. They want to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander breaking the record. They want to talk about Ant-Man. The sleeper team, and I'm not saying it's going to equal out to a Western Conference championship or even a semi-Western Conference appearance, but the sleeper team right now is the Los Angeles Lakers, because people are not talking about everything but the Los Angeles Lakers. And then when you do bring up the Los Angeles Lakers, you talk about when they're losing, or when it's a problem with J.J. Redick, or why is Luka not doing this, or LeBron's missing. We only bring up bad shit lately when it comes about the Lakers this season. But quiet as kept, the Lakers are tied for 3rd place with Houston right now. So that's my sleeper team as we speak, Stat.
That's a good take. So I do want to kind of deep dive into that a little bit more, because you're right. A lot of people aren't really peeping it. But yeah, it's the Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, and Timberwolves. They're pretty neck and neck. So Mace, which team do you think is built the best for a deep playoff run? And then do you feel like one of those teams doesn't belong between the Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, and Timberwolves?
What's your question again?
Yeah, which team do you think is built the best for a deep playoff run between the Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, and Timberwolves? And then which one do you think doesn't really belong?
That's an interesting question. I would have to say that who would I go with if I'm going with a deep playoff run? I would actually say that the Nuggets is built better than all those teams. Sometimes they're underachieving, but they're built the best, because when you think of Jokic, you think of what's the power forward name that's there that came from Orlando? Gordon. You still got Gordon. You still got Murray. So they got three stars there if they really want to play. And then with Bruce Brown, I think they have all the pieces to get it done if they really come focused enough to get it done. Then you got You got Minnesota. I think Minnesota is another team that's built. I think the team that doesn't belong is the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie. I just think when it comes down to it, they're gonna be too irresponsible when it comes to defense. They're not gonna be because you already got one liability in Luca. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how LeBron will hold up in the playoffs on defense. You know, with the new young wings, pause that'll be driving to the basket. And if LeBron holds up, then everybody's in trouble. So I'm not dissing LeBron. I'm just saying I would have to see how that looks as a 40-year-old guy playing the playoffs.
Real quick before you go, Cam, because I know you mentioned the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, Mace, but Rockets, because I know you've said some things about them that you do like. You're just not ready to put them kind of up there yet. Like,
I think they're missing a point guard. I think they're missing a point guard and a real shooter. With that type of team, you need a real shooter. You got KD, you got Amen, you got Sagoon. You need a real shooter.
You don't consider KD a real shooter?
No, I'm saying when KD gets double, you need
Okay.
somebody he could throw it to that could get a bucket.
Gotcha.
That could get a big bucket too.
Gotcha.
Because they're gonna double team KD. KD is a all-time sniper. You could mark him in the playoffs for 30. But once they double team KD and they swing it to Amen, he's gonna slash to the basket. When the defense collapse and he have to kick, who is he kicking the ball to?
Gotcha.
That's the question.
Gotcha. And stat,
Yeah.
if you want to throw in, I mean, not throwing in, but just keeping in mind. So you threw those four teams in: Houston, Los Angeles, Lakers, Denver, and Minnesota. But Phoenix is a game and a half. So those five teams, it's a game and a half between third place and seventh place. So everybody's pretty close to being. You could be in third place today or in seventh place tomorrow, either or. So let's just keep it in mind. Phoenix is right there, a game behind Minnesota as well. So just want to make sure that we keep Phoenix in mind too, because Dylan Brooks is having a good year. I know Stav's like, "Oh, you like Dylan Brooks now?" I call it like I see it. Since said that the other day, like, yeah, I don't hear y'all talking about Ja Morant. I said, look, man, Mace told you this the other day, and I'm going to use it every time you say this. This is the reason they have dates on the trophies, all right? We're not going to say, I love that. This is the reason we have dates on the trophies. I don't hear y'all, the nigga going to tell me murder, I don't hear y'all talking about Jordan Poole. He got a trophy, right? The date was on it that year. He got the trophy. Yo, what
Where's
about
Jordan Poole at?
Pelicans? Yeah. But
Oh my goodness.
but no, he telling me, yeah, y'all was Jordan Poole out. I said when it was time to, it was time to. Then he gonna tell me, I don't hear y'all talk about Ja Morant. I said, listen, bro, I don't understand, Seneca. If we seeing a nigga putting a good show that we supposed to say, wait up, murder, wait up, stat. I think he gonna start fucking with guns and get hurt a lot in the next 2-3 years. So let me not talk about this nigga having 45 points tonight, because I can see in the future that he got the potential to put guns on Instagram and he's gonna be hurt a lot. So let's not even talk about him having 40 points 3 nights in a row. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the nigga. But to answer your question, the team I trust the most to make a deep player run, this is a great question. I'm going to have to agree with Mace if I'm going to pick one of those four teams, only because they've done it before. When we talk about this core Denver team, they've done it before. Now, has Luka been to a championship? Yes. Has LeBron been to a championship and won championships? Yes. But the Denver team core has been there and they know what it takes to win. Minnesota, somebody got to be consistent outside of Ant-Man. Whether it's Nas Reed off the bench, whether it's Julius Randle, somebody else has to show consistency, and that's what we aren't seeing from Minnesota. Whoever's going to play that second fiddle to Ant-Man, has to be consistent. We was talking about the game the other night. Julius Randle had 11 points. That's not going to cut it. It's not, P. You laughing. 11 points is not going to cut it from Julius. Look, I need help. Look, and we always go back to this because we like, y'all need Scotty because Scotty was the best nigga to do it as Jordan's Batman, the Robin, or whatever you want to call it. We sit there and see Tatum, if you want to say second field, Jaylen Brown, whatever. We need two people. Kobe and Shaq, which was an amazing thing, right? But Kobe couldn't win again until he got Pau Gasol. Andrew Bynum, look, help that nigga Ant-Man if you want to see him go somewhere. Somebody got to help consistently. And I agree with Mace also as far as Houston with the point guard situation. I talked about that a while ago. But who shouldn't be there? That's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I would have to say I agree with Mace on everything on this one. The Lakers, if somebody's not going to be there. But everything he said is correct. We don't know. Luka's a liability on defense, so that's J.J. Redick to disguise his defenses and put a proper defense in place because we know that point guards miles of water and pause when they're on offense and see Luka on defense. So now you have to put together a defensive scheme that's going to help Luka on defense. And then how much do you want LeBron to do at 41 years old? God damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm agreeing with you. Like, yo, he's 41, bro. Now imagine, let's say this, right? Let's say he does win the first round, 7-game series. Let's say he go to the second round to 7-game series, and they win. I'm just giving hypotheticals. You think about a Western Conference championship, that man ain't going to be tired? It's 14 games. That's what I'm saying. This is up to J.J. Redick, knowing knowing the personnel that you have and what you have to do to disguise on defense with the personnel that you have, knowing that Luka may be a potential liability. So I agree with Mason's answers on this tape.
Yeah, good points. Okay, so I want to go back to the Clippers real quick just to kind of highlight a little bit more Kawhi. So in that game, he dropped 45 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So Mace, do you feel like Kawhi is like back, like he's playing his best basketball? What do you think about his performances as of lately?
I don't know how to judge Kawhi. I loved him at the Spurs. I loved him when he was with the Raptors, but he rests so much that I don't know how to really take it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have somebody that's sitting out for all of the hard. Let's say we playing a game, and this guy doesn't have to run no sprints, no suicides, no anything. But then he comes in fresh. Of course, he's gonna be fresh. He's been rested the whole time. So I don't really know how to look at the points that he's getting. I don't know if it's gonna hold up in the playoffs. I'm so over the whole what they call it, low management. I'm over it. I don't care who's doing it, I'm over it. It's like if you guys gonna be professional basketball players, you gotta play the games, man. You gotta show up and play the games. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, when Kawhi's out there, it's not a question. When he's there, like we know what you're going to get with Kawhi when he's on the court. We just talked about 40 consecutive games with 20 points. We know what you're getting when Kawhi's on the court. To me, Kawhi was SGA before SGA, if that makes sense to people. You know what I'm saying? He had the mid-range game. He was getting to the basket. He was doing all this, and then he missed it for 2.5 years. So what Mason's just basically trying to say is what I'm saying is he can't be trusted. And we can't trust him to play. When he's on the court, we trust him. But we get in the Kawhi mode to some of the best basketball he's playing. That's why Stat brought it up, because she's absolutely right. This is amazing to see him play. We're at the point now when we go to turn on the Clipper game, you're like, Kawhi playing back-to-backs? It's a surprise to see the nigga playing. And I'm ecstatic about it. I love it. But you can't be trusted because we don't know what's going to happen if he's going to keep playing. It was times where the team doctors said, even though this dates back to San Antonio, where, and that's why he kind of wanted to get out of San Antonio, because he felt the team doctors wasn't giving him the right evaluation on his ankle, I believe it was. And I remember Tony Parker being mad and Ginobili being mad. And niggas like, come on, man. The doctor said he could play, but he went to an outside doctor, and the outside doctor said he couldn't play. So when you got your team doctor saying you could play, Kawhi got his own doctor saying, I don't trust team doctors no more, and my doctor said I can't play. So when my doctor give me the green light, that's when I'll be back. It's been looking good as of late, but to Mace's point, in a more dumbed down way from what he said, he can't be trusted. He can't. He can't. That's like a nigga, I got a friend of mine, right? I won't say his name, even though I should blow the nigga up, pause. This nigga go to jail all the time, right? And he came home. He finally came home. He's in his 30s, and he's like, I'm Killa. I want to do the right thing. I want to open up a car wash. Damn, a portable car wash in Atlanta, matter of fact, in Atlanta. And I'm like, he's like, Killa, come on, man. I'm too grown for all this dumb shit now. I'll bust the money down with you. He had the LLC, got the LLC and everything, because I had portable car washes in New York. I had like 3 vans already done. So I'm like, I'll send one down here. Shit went good for 3 months, and then he stopped picking the phone up. I ain't speak to the nigga for a year. Next thing, my van was abandoned somewhere in Clark County or whatever the fuck, Alpharetta, wherever the fuck he left my shit in the bushes. I ain't speak to the nigga since. This is the shit you can't trust niggas, man. I'm just.
You left the car in the bushes.
Just shit, nigga, cops found my shit because the plates, they went back to me. Nigga stopped picking up. Because I threatened the nigga and told the nigga, look, you ain't picking up for me. I'm going to report the car stolen. You a felon. You like a 2-time felon. I don't want to do this to you. But my nigga, I'm paying insurance on the car. You supposed to take the insurance back, pay the registration. You done took my car wash. It was doing decent in New York. But I trusted you because I knew you since you was 6. And that's why I shouldn't have trusted you, because I knew you since you was 6.
Oh. Do you feel like you have trust issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You damn right. Yo, the niggas in my neighborhood killed each other. How I'ma trust you? I tell niggas that all the time. When I meet somebody, you down 50. You got to work to 0. Like you can't, you're not even on 0. You got to work to imagine getting attendance an accomplishment week plus 10 because you're at minus 50 when I meet you. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm talking about I literally watch friends kill each other that I grew up with. So no, I don't trust nobody. No, I absolutely don't. You got to gain my trust, and it takes a long time.
Not mad at that, because there's always this debate that's like trust has to be earned, it's not given, even though some people also feel like respect has to be earned, not given, even though I feel like everybody should be treated with respect.
Man, I'll be in the middle of Chuck E. Cheese and I'll be like, yo, PT, who that? I don't trust a nigga in Chuck E. Cheese with their hands in their pockets, nigga. Watch that nigga. Watch that nigga by the pinball machine. Nigga, I don't trust nobody, nigga.
Awareness, I guess, to an extent. Okay.
Yes, well, when I be walking and shit in the hallways, you know how much I use reflections? Like my peripheral game is crazy. You gotta be peripheral. You walk through the glass, you gotta look at niggas' reflection off the glass, like, yo, why this nigga? All that shit count. Or like, right? I don't know if I'm putting a murder move crazier than me. You gotta use reflections, peripherals. You gotta stop and tie your shoe, and then see if a nigga gonna stop too. It's all type of tricks you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I got the Batman smoke. You drop and you say, where that nigga went?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we got this quote from Madison Pettis before we wrap. She says Michael Porter Jr. is a psychopath. So in a podcast, she said, my ex is now in the NBA. When we dated, he was in high school and college. I broke up with him before he was in the league because he was a psychopath. So Mace, do personal views from a past partner ever affect how you view somebody? And I'm not even talking about personal. I'm just talking about from what we've seen, because we're always hearing different stories, quotes about athletes, entertainers. It's a various amount of things. But what's your opinion on that?
Yeah. I think where there's smoke, there's fire, you know. I don't know everything, but I think she ain't wait this long to lie. You know what I'm saying? If he just made it to the league and she said this, I say she's hating. But because she waited so long to say this, it seemed like, why would she say it now? You know, like people always say that. Why now? She's saying it now because she got on a podcast and they asked her something, and she remembered. Yeah, this nigga's crazy. I'm not saying he's crazy. I'm saying that's what she's saying. I might believe it. You know.
So for you, the time matters. Like the context of when that is being said.
Yeah, like if a nigga win a Grammy and you bring out a wild story about him the week he won the Grammy, you could be hating. But if a nigga wait like 40 years, nigga be like, yo, I never said this, but this is what really happened.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Nah, I ain't jacking it. I disagree. Bitches is bitter. New contract must have came up. I ain't jacking it. I'm not. We ain't Michael Porter. We tried, like, not me. I'm just saying media was dissing him for paying his girlfriend's rent even when he wasn't with her, right?
That. He had a lot of quotes, like a lot of quotables, but that was one of them.
But he was paying his girl's rent even when he broke up with her, right?
Or I think he said, that was a whole debate. It's either he said he shouldn't or he should. I'm going to find it, though.
He was paying it because I remember we was like, what is he paying it for?
Oh, if this the same girl, then she lying.
No, it's not the same girl. It's this girl from high school.
Oh.
But that's when you said the smoke is fire. I don't see smoke. I see bitter.
Oh, yeah. She probably heard that nigga paying niggas rent. I forgot about that. You right.
Yeah.
She heard niggas paying a nigga rent. Nigga like, why you ain't never get your rent paid?
Yeah.
Oh, the nigga was a psychopath.
Yeah, because he was a psycho. Exactly. That's where I'm at with it. The nigga crazy, girl. That's where I'm at with it, murder. I'm going there with it. I'm going, the nigga, just exactly what you say. That nigga paying rent even when he break up with a girl. Yo, why you ain't get your, the nigga crazy. You know them light-skinned niggas crazy? Nah, I ain't jacking Mike for that. I don't see psychopath. And I don't know him at all to say it is what it is or is what it isn't. But we don't hear no scandals about this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? The most we mad at him is for not playing good basketball. And his brother's the one who was gambling and might be going to jail.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that ain't him.
Yeah, it's
you
not.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't him. We all got family members that you be like, this nigga was bugging. That's in everybody's family. You know what I'm saying? So
everybody got at least two cuckoos.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not putting that on him. And I'm to the point where, yeah, exactly. Why did you wait this long to say it? That man been in the league a good 7, 8, 9 years or something like that, man. We ain't hear no bullshit about him when it come to female outside of him paying their rent when he broke up with them. Nah, I got your back on this one, Mike. I ain't jacking that. Nah.
Well, in the comments down below, let us know what y'all think about the situation.
You know why? Because let me tell you this right now, not to cut you off, I know where y'all go. I'm pretty sure some girls say I'm a psychopath that I used to deal with. Yo, that nigga Cam is crazy. You just don't know. Word, Cam. I knew that nigga was crazy. I knew I could tell he is a crazy. And I'm one of the coolest niggas in the world once I'm in a relationship. But at the end of the day, they gonna throw dirt on you because like I told you, I don't really be lying when I say I don't be leaving women. You know what I'm saying? But when you know a relationship is over, sometimes it's not easy for the other person and they just can't, they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Psycho, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be in that situation anymore. But I'm not a psycho. I'm a cool ass nigga. But it always ends bitter for me. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that nigga Cam, what that nigga did. Da, 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 da. I ain't do shit. I just don't want to be here anymore. And then I'm a psycho next thing you know. So.
Have you ever called a girl psycho after the fact, though? On the opposite?
I called them during the fact. That's why I be leaving. I be leaving straight. I be PT witness. Man, go to talk with Flea. Couple people been, listen, this wild snatter. You can't make this shit up I be doing. Listen, you can ask Murder this, right? This I swear to God on everything, right? Then we was talking over the weekend, me and Murder, right? I had the yacht out and shit the other day and shit. Not bragging, I'm just saying I was on the boat and I was talking to Murder. Me and Murder was talking about some business, and I had my earpiece in, so Shorty that didn't know I was on the phone. Murder said she must have been ear hustling because we was talking about some money. She just walked up and said, "Come on, hurry up, let me suck your dick." I said, "Yo, I'm talking to Mace." She said, "Oh my God, tell the pastor." I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "Mace, this is what I'm still doing." Murder says she ear hustling about that money we was just talking about.
Mace said timing matters.
Yeah. But then when I say she don't
She
make
heard them numbers and went crazy.
right, but let's say she don't make the boat trip next week. It's a problem. Yo, I'm a sucker. Who you on the boat with? Why you still taking the boat out? Oh, you think you're gonna get money? This is the shit that be happening, man. Yeah, I told Murder when I did on the phone, I said, "Sorry about that, man." May say, "Yeah, she heard that." I said, "Nah, it ain't even that. Look, you're not gonna suck the rest of my life out of me. I'm on the schedule with my nuts. Pause. My nut is on schedule. I got one a day, maybe two if I'm really turned up. You're not gonna get 3 and 4 like you used to, boo. We got time my joints out, man. That's just that. You're not gonna suck me to sleep. I got shit to do every day, man. I appreciate the offer though."
No transition. Hope she's good.
It's the truth.
I need Mace's shades, and I didn't get the memo.
Mace was there this time. That's why I told him that he wasn't there. He's on the phone. Because I know people think I come up here and tell these stories, and they be like, "Come on, Cam. Come on now. Word, that really happened." Because when I come up here, it's like the other day we was at the studio, and we was talking about the girl who jumped in the car. Murray said, "Oh, you from the show. I mean, we heard about you on the show." I don't be coming up here making this shit up, man.
Video evidence. Make sure y'all check out Talk with Fleet because
Yeah, man. But Murder was there for this one, man. She said, "Oh my God, tell the pastor I'm sorry." I had my earpiece and she didn't know he's on the phone.
On that note, we talked about a lot of different things, but let us know y'all's comments down below. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is what it is.